Welcome to the FunkMMA Strength and Conditioning Podcast, hosted by Funk Roberts, former professional athlete, certified MMA conditioning coach, and master of metabolic training. Funk is one of the leading conditioning coaches in the martial arts industry today and has a following of over 500,000 combat athletes around the world. His workouts and training principles have been used by many professional fighters, including fighters in the UFC, Bellator, and 1FC, as well as World Muay Thai champions, Roy kickboxers, and ADCC BJJ champions. Join me in welcoming your host, Funk Roberts.
We are live. What's up, everybody? It's Funk Roberts, and welcome to the FunkMMA Strength and Conditioning Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts, aka the Funkster. And today I am excited because we have not only a great friend, not only my right-hand man, not only my partner in business, but we also have fighter, entrepreneur, world traveler, king of all kings, and co-host of this podcast, Andy T.
What's up? I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah, welcome, buddy. You good?
This is exciting. We talked about doing this for a while, and here we go.
Yeah, man. It's actually exciting because Andy's going to be co-hosting this show once in a while when we have guests or when Andy and I want to talk. We have, topics to talk about. But I thought it was really important in the beginning to have Andy on, and because your story is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, your story is amazing. And how old are you?
23.
23 years old. So at 23, you've gone to Thailand 3 times. You fought you fought MMA, you fought Muay Thai. You've won a championship in Muay Thai.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, everything.
Jiu-jitsu. But not only that, you have a company. You were a chef and you had a company, and you did a special for the Muay Thai guy. It's incredible.
I do a lot of random stuff. I've taken.
You trained with Buakaw.
Yes.
You trained with world class trainers and fighters. So, one of the things that the reason why I also wanted to talk, because I think you're amazing in regards to everything that you've done. Cool. You know what I mean? It's like at 23 years old, you've done more than most people will do in a lifetime. And it's like your work ethic is incredible. You're not afraid to take chances. You're not afraid of challenges. You literally will pick up and within a week you make decisions. You're good at calculating, and then you're like, all right, yep, I can do this, and you do it. So I want to take everyone back to how it started, because how long have you been training?
3 years now.
Martial arts. Okay, so
3 years. So I started when I was 19.
And you're 23 now.
Yeah, I was 23. So late when I was 19, and kind of on and off. I did a couple of boxing classes before then.
Yeah. But let's what were you doing before? What were you doing before you even decided? You're 18 years old. What are you doing at 18 on a regular day?
So when I was 18, I moved in with my friends, my 3 friends, and they were all going to college. They were all going to school. And at that time, I didn't have a job. So I was working at this place called Labor Ready, where you show up to their office space, and if they have work for you that day, they send you out, and then you get your slip signed, and then when you come back, they have a cash machine, so you can get your money cashed out right away.
Right.
So I was doing that, and that was just to survive, because I didn't have a job at the time, and I had to pay the rent because I moved out.
You didn't have a full-time job.
I didn't have a full-time job. I honestly, I took a gamble. I had enough money to pay for rent for that first month.
Yeah.
So the whole discussion in the actual house between me and my friends when we were roommates were, can Andy pay rent next month? Because I didn't have a job. I was doing that. So we moved out. Labor Ready led me to, I started sweeping I started working at an auto body shop where I swept the floor.
Right.
And then from there, I just progressed to management in about 2 years. So I was managing an auto body shop when I was 18, 19 years old.
Wow.
And actually that's the same time when I started training. So I would work 9 to 5, and then right out at 5, out the door, hop in my car, drive downtown. Because at the time the gym was all the way downtown. whereas now it's in the middle. So
we're in Toronto, by the way, everybody. Just let you know.
So before it was at 99 Sudbury, so Dufferin and pretty much south on Dufferin. So. Yeah, I did that for a while, and I realized at my office job, this is when I started. So I started training, and then naturally, when you start training Muay Thai, you obviously Google Thailand Muay Thai. So I spent all this time fantasizing about going to Thailand and training and fighting. Yeah. Meanwhile, I was a stick. I didn't know shit about martial arts. I didn't.
What were you doing before? Like, what led you to train? Like, what led you to go train? Like, what were you doing before? How did you step into your first gym? Like,
okay,
how do you get there?
Right. So my first gym, I was 15, and it was one class. And my buddy, my friend Liam, back in the day, he used to have a heavy bag and a double end bag in his garage, and all of our buddies would come over. This is high school now.
Yeah.
And we played something called buckets. You know what buckets is?
No.
Okay, so pretty much, this is so old school. So you because I grew up in the suburbs, and I had a lot of hockey friends that played hockey here in Canada.
Yeah.
So you would take hockey gloves, you put on hockey gloves, you put on the hockey headgear, and then you just scrap your buddies. Like, you just go in a circle and you just beat the shit out of each other, just hands, right?
Yeah.
So that was my first like combat experience, and then from there.
Wait, did he take a beating or what?
Oh, I took a bunch of beatings. I gave I was probably like 1 win, 12 losses, some shitty like that. Like, mind you, I wasn't athletic. I was skinny.
Right.
I had no formal training, and I wasn't athletic at all. It was like. It was more of a like test your manhood thing as a teenager. Like, hey, after school, we're me, Tyler, Liam, Adam, whoever, we're gonna meet at Liam's house in the backyard and play buckets.
Unbelievable.
And I probably got concussed once or twice there.
Sure,
like,
you did.
now that I look back on it and I know like real training protocols, that was definitely really stupid. But so I went. So I tagged along with Liam, who signed up. At the time, I didn't have a part-time job. Like. My parents don't come from money; they're immigrants. So I'm like the what do you call it, first generation.
Yeah.
So I couldn't afford boxing lessons, so I would just tag along when I could. It was in Aurora. I went to a place called Point Blank boxing. So that was my first boxing class, and then I kind of went inconsistently. So I would go, once every 2 months, once every 3 months, and
did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I wish. There was a point in time in high school, actually, that I moved away from where I grew up.
Yeah.
And we moved out like way into like this country spot. And they had this one martial arts academy in the middle of the town. It was pretty much that's all it was. And I remember like begging my parents, like, come on, I want to go train. I want to box and all this stuff. And they just never could afford it. So, I would do stupid shit like, wrap my hands and like run around the town because I had nothing. I had no friends. I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I'd do like, I would run to the baseball diamond and I would jump up like the benches and stuff and think, I thought I was working out.
Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky style and like doing sit-ups on like wet grass and shit like that. So that's like, I started in boxing and like, I always watched boxing. Like, I always watched Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez, and I fell in love with boxing because at the time MMA wasn't really in like the
vogue.
Yeah, it was, but I wasn't smart enough to be like, oh man, this is the ultimate shit, right? I was just like, boxing, this is cool. Manny Pacquiao, I like the stories. They caught me with all the hype, and then I moved from watching. So this is all in high school when I was just watching martial arts. I went from boxing to like Manny Pacquiao to Buakaw.
Right. Oh, really?
So then my garage friends, my bucket friends, a couple of us.
The bucket boys.
Yeah,
the bucket boys.
that's what we're gonna get t-shirts done. But yeah, the bucket boys and me, we progressed to Muay Thai. So at that same boxing gym, they had Muay Thai. And so again, inconsistently until I moved out and worked my way up at the auto body shop where I could afford. And mind you, back then I was managing the shop, but because of my age and I didn't have textbook credentials, I didn't go to school for auto body, but I got to the top of that job because I worked my ass off. I came in early, unpaid, worked my ass off, stayed consistent, kept grinding, and then I got more money. and I was able to pay for a gym membership. You know, I was able to buy gear, and so that's when I started training at Evolucao Thai in Toronto, Ontario.
Where do you equate that hard work ethic from? Like, because you were young and going like, did you just do it, or were you like that in school, or did your parents tell you to do that?
Man,
Like,
I was so bad at school. I mean, I look back on it now, and I'm in a good place with my life now, where like money's not an issue, and I have work, and I love my life, and I'm happy. But back then, I had dark times because I didn't graduate high school. Like, I'm a high school dropout.
Okay.
I failed by 1 credit, so I'm missing a math credit. But so at that time, like, you know, all my friends are graduating in high school. I'm not graduating high school because I couldn't sit at a desk and read a textbook and write exams. And I moved as well. I didn't have friends, and I was just like, it was just a weird place for me.
Totally.
So I never graduated high school, and then I went straight into work. I think the work ethic part came from painting myself into a corner, because I moved out with my friends.
Right.
I had to make money to pay rent.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was just no other option. I had nobody to rely on. There was no backup plan. It was either you do this or you don't do this, and you don't pay rent, and you fuck all your friends over that you moved out with, and like you just end up in a shitty scenario. So it was one of those moments where it's like, you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, quote unquote, the hard work came. And then after that, once I moved up the auto body, I realized that, like,
This shit works.
yeah, if you're not lazy and you like commit yourself, you can have anything you want.
Totally.
And so I use that mindset throughout up until this day. That's how I've been able to get so many lucky breaks and opportunities.
They're not lucky, man.
Yeah.
I think you know, it's funny because not a lot of people, when they get painted into a corner, probably like 90% of the people, probably more. I'm going to say like 95, 97. I'm not just throwing out numbers, but you can tell from just the world and what people do, like 97%, 95% of people who get painted in a corner will stay in that corner and cower. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like blame everybody else, and like, you know, just like paint themselves in the corner, as opposed to doing what you did. And like saying, okay, fuck, you know what? I gotta fucking do this, because you weren't like that before. In school, you weren't like that, and then all of a sudden you got paid, and all of a sudden you're just like, fuck this, man. I'm gonna do it, because you thought about your friends, you thought about, you know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's totally correct. Because in high school, my parents would also be enablers. You know, if I got into trouble, or if I needed some money, they would give it to me. And then after I moved out, it was like,
there's nothing.
No, like, we're not giving you money.
Oh,
like, you're either gonna do, because they were broke too.
Right.
So they can't give me money that they didn't have. And I was also a dumbass, stupid kid doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And like,
we all were.
spending my money on stupid things.
Yeah.
And also another reason why I think that it was getting painted into a corner, but it was also, I went through my first heartbreak at the time. And you know when you have heartbreaks, and then it's more fiery. Like when we first broke up,
like your girlfriend.
yeah, with girlfriend, yep.
Yeah.
Like every minute of the day, and again, I was 18, 19 years old, so I know better now. But I'm glad it happened then.
Totally.
Like, to get my mind off of things, I just try to be productive.
Right.
And then every day, slowly, I felt less about it, to the point where everything was forgiven. I even, you know, sent her messages like, hey, look, I hope you're doing very well. Love it. Thank you for everything. Like, just try to leave on a positive note. So for me, I had closure. I ended that chapter, and then like my life started to blossom.
Totally.
Actually, that breakup changed my life, and moving out and painting myself in the corner, I don't think I would be where I was. If I didn't go to Labor Ready, I would never got that job at that body shop. I would have never worked my way up. I would have never started training.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
So
like that's incredible. That's 100% being outside of your comfort zone. Okay, so now you've decided that you're going to start training. You're at the body shop, and now what led you to Evolucao Thai?
I Googled all the martial arts academies in the area, and it just seemed to be the right fit.
Why? What was it? Was it Mauricio? Was it
I don't know.
Silva?
I think it was just
Shootbox?
I think it was the credentials, the lineage
Yeah.
No other school in Toronto has a lineage like Evolucao Thai.
Yeah.
So usually they say, like, Google all the gyms and try out classes and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I went directly there, started training, fell in love, didn't go to another place.
Right.
So really and truly, I don't know what other
You
gyms
bleed
are.
Evolucao.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm probably be sticking with Evolucao for my life.
Yeah.
So
No, that's I mean, if you guys don't know Evolucao's lineage.
yeah, shoot the box.
Shoot the box.
My coach trained, Anderson
Mauricio
Silva,
Vea.
Shogun,
Yeah.
Vanderlei, all those guys. So those legendary Brazilian guys.
His brothers, like Mauricio Vea, brother of Andre Dida.
Yep.
If you guys don't know Andre Dida, you better
Google.
ask somebody. Yeah. Google Andre Dida, Buakaw, like just a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And King's MMA, who
Rafael Cordero was his head coach.
Was his head coach. So like it's a shoot the box style, which is a lot different. It's different from any style.
Yeah,
period.
so Mauricio took it and kind of evolved it
Right.
in his own way, where shoot the box guys were very aggressive and like it was kill or be killed, but he's more technical.
Yeah.
And for me,
His style's incredible.
yeah, his style is incredible.
Like,
He's
it's
the best
fucking-
instructor. Period.
It's amazing. Every time when I used to go to his classes, it was just like, and even Angela when she went, it was just like, man, she loved training with Mauricio.
Yeah.
Like loved it. And Angela's like, is Muay Thai, like strict, straight up traditional Muay Thai, big heavy punches, kicks. But the shoot box style is totally different. Like multiple combinations,
Yeah,
all in.
he's
You're throwing
super
like 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations off one, moving side to side. Like it's so
Stance switches,
beautiful.
level changes, takedowns, everything all built into the striking. He's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Rafael Lovato Jr., who's
Right.
he is the most.
who you just finished training with.
Yep,
by the
I
way.
finished training with this last week. He came to Toronto for 1 week of his fight camp, but he's the most accomplished American grappler
Totally.
ever so far.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it was weird. I went from training, like I had a switch when I worked at the auto body shop that led me to quitting that job and trying to pursue martial arts full time.
Yeah.
So I was working there 9 to 5, and then I would leave and train. I would drive down, train all the classes at night.
Right.
I just trained as much as I could. And
You got good really fast, man.
yeah, well, it's been 3 years and 4 MMA fights, 4 Muay Thai fights, maybe 20 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu matches later.
Incredible. You're teaching classes now.
I'm teaching
doing-
kids and I'm teaching adult striking and stuff like that.
You're holding pads and training Lovato Jr. for his next fight.
Yeah, Rader, some
Justin
good guys.
Rader.
Justin Rader, who's incredible as well. I hold the pads, but Mauricio gives the combination.
Right,
So
right. Yeah,
I'm very good at holding pads.
Right, yes.
But Mauricio's the mastermind behind combinations, game plans, strategy.
Amazing.
I just know how to do it
Right.
because I train with him every day, right?
Yeah. The pad hold, like that's an
an
art,
art.
man. Like
It's an art.
whenever we watch you guys hold pads, it's like fuck. How the hell do these guys fucking like bop 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop,
Yeah,
bop,
seriously.
bop, bop, bop. Like it's like
Over and
Jesus,
over and over again.
over again. But like it's, and then tomorrow it's another bop, 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 bop,
Yeah.
bop.
Every day has been different this week that I've trained, like he just mixes it up so well.
Yeah.
But that's when I met you, actually,
Yeah.
was when I was working 9 to 5. And
Yeah.
I'm going to flip it on you right now. What did you think when you met me? Like, we probably never even talked about this on record or off record. Like, I just started coming to your classes and...
You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Because I used to run the strength and conditioning class at Evolucao Thai, so I was like the strength and conditioning coach, and then some fighters who would want to have a fight. Actually, I did train a couple of fighters for their fights, pro fights, Ainsley and some other guys that were there.
Andre Rodriguez.
Yes, Andre Rodriguez. We were partners once in some drill. We were partners. I can't remember what it was, but I used to see you all the time, right? And then we were partners in a drill. I think it was
Vanderlei Silva.
Vanderlei Silva,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have that on video.
yeah. So Vanderlei Silva came, and we were partners. And then you just kept coming in. Like I just like literally just kept watching you because you came to my classes all the time, and then I would just see you, and I'm like, fuck, this guy's getting better and better and better. And the next day you'd come and then be like, holy fuck, man, this guy's like getting better. And all of a sudden there's like a switch, like literally a switch. Maybe it's because I hadn't come and then came back or something, but you were just like, what? This guy's like running the show here. Like, it was incredible. And I just saw that work ethic in you. You know what I mean? Like, comes all the time, comes every day. He's got a job, still comes. So probably wakes up early in the morning, goes home late at night, rinse and repeat, does it again. But it was the fact that you kept coming and that drive. I could see the drive, because I mean, I've been doing this for years. I've managed, I've done whatever, and I could just see that drive in you. I'm like, man, this kid, there's something about him. You know what I mean? There's something about this guy.
Yeah. I remember actually the first conversation we had about, because initially when we started working, when you brought me on to work for you, it was like, I was just uploading videos, right? Yeah. And you came in to me, I was in the change room after one of the classes actually, and you came up to me and said, man, you work really hard. Like, what do you do? What's your job? Like, I'm looking for somebody to do this. And at the time I was just like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'll do it. And you know what? It's funny. I did that job at my actual job on lunch break. Right. So I would just take it, and then I would just do all the video uploading and content management and all that stuff on my 9-to-5 job on my lunch break. And then, so I kind of just merged that into my life. And at the time I told one of my roommates, Mitch, that I started uploading. And you know when you're like not completely happy about your life and something comes up, and then you try to take that opportunity to the max, even if it's the smallest little opportunity. Totally. That's what I felt. I was like, okay, I saw your Facebook page. Yeah. And obviously I knew who you were. Yeah. And I was like, maybe this could be, I never thought it would be like this. Yeah. But maybe I could, leave. My goal at the time was get out of this 9-to-5 job. Right. All I cared about was training. That's when I was happy. I was so happy to learn. I was so happy to be in the gym environment. Like I couldn't do 9-to-5. I just totally couldn't. And it's it's easy for me to say now that I can't do 9-to-5 and I don't do 9-to-5 and I do what I do now. Yeah. But it's actually possible. Yeah. Like I never thought it was possible.
Not to do 9-to-5.
Because nobody ever told me that it wasn't possible. Everybody was, when I didn't graduate high school, my friend's mom that I grew up with was like, Andy, you got to finish high school. You got to get a job. Yeah. You got to
9-to-5.
Yeah, 9-to-5. Like, what are you doing with your life? Now when I see them, they don't say anything to me because they know that I'm happy and I'm doing well. Absolutely. But it is possible, and it's easy for me to say now. Well, I'm out of it.
Yeah. But you see the light.
Yeah, it was really tough at the time. Yeah. So if anybody out there is stuck in 9-to-5 and you're listening to this and you don't like your job, there's always another option.
Always another option.
And sometimes it might suck balls.
At the beginning.
Yeah,
totally.
At the beginning, a lot.
Yeah.
No money, can't go out, all your friends buying cars, buying houses, whatever, and you're there, opening a can of beans. Yeah. Or doing whatever you have to do.
But you're doing something that you love. And I like some people say, you shouldn't go do your passion, and other people say you should do your passion. I always say do your passion, what's in your heart, because then it's not going to feel like a job. I left my 9-to-5. It was a 6-figure job. I walked into my president's office and said, listen, I'm gone, man. Like, and he was just like, all right, go ahead. I know that you are doing whatever else you like to do, so go for it, right? And that was the comfort of a paying 9-to-5 job. Come home to my wife to tell her I don't have a job anymore, and
wife and kid.
Yeah, and wife's like, okay, well, you better fucking get upstairs and work, man. And I'm like, no problem. And it was like, it was 20-hour days grind, but I loved every second of it. And I would never, ever, ever again work for anybody. Ever a freaking against, never happening. Like. I even tell my kid, like, he's doing things now. He's going to school, and now he's just off school and doing other stuff. But I always try to veer him over to things that will like lead to him having his own company. So like, he's doing like contracting stuff right now. Like he's just like helping out doing contracting, but he's loving it. He's building stuff. And I told him, look, man, like you could be a paramedic, which is what he wants to do, but it's very hard to become a paramedic. and there's contracting, and you like both, and whatever your heart takes you to, like, don't think that I'm making you go to become a paramedic, because if you become a contractor or you learn that trade, then like 20 years down the road, you could have your own company.
Yeah, I think.
Or 15 years down the road, you can have your own company.
Right. I think two things happen where, like, that's what you just said isn't said enough to people.
Yes.
And then I think people need to realize that it's possible to do multiple things at once.
Yes.
And now that you're talking about contracting, when I was working at that auto body shop on Saturday and Sunday, I bought a power washer, and I drove up to Woodbridge, where it's a wealthier place, right? And I started doing my own interlocking, where I would shoot the weeds out of people's the cracks in their driveway, and then I would sweep the sand into it, and then I would seal it for an extra $200-300 on the weekend, just because I had nothing better to do, really. Like, I just wanted to make more money. So I think it's not said enough that you can do multiple things at once.
Absolutely,
because that's good.
Yeah, because that's what I was doing. I was blogging. I was trying to run my online business while I had the 9-to-5, so I would come home and do that at night. But that leads me to the next thing, because one of the other things that struck me as, like, this kid's awesome, is you also had your own business. So after you left the auto body, or maybe during the auto body, you gotta explain it. But you had your own food delivery. What was it?
It was called Rexford's. It was the meal prep delivery,
yes.
Healthy meal prep delivery service.
Yeah.
So
what led you there?
A couple things. So I had a friend named Kevin. Shout outs to Kevin.
What up, Kev?
He's a good guy. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about, where you can do multiple things at once. Yeah. So I was working my 9-to-5 job. So I was at the auto body shop. Yeah. I was training at night. I was working on the weekends. And then Kevin, at the same time, because I ran into more money, I got a phone contract. I got an iPhone. So on Instagram, I'm posting all these food pictures just for my friends and family to see, right? And so Kevin, we used to work together at a restaurant. He used to manage a sushi place. He messaged me and was like, man, the food you're cooking looks really good. Like, why don't you come down? And he was starting a thing called Rexford's. And at the time, it was just a pop-up restaurant. Yeah. So we would just sell tickets, rent out a venue, and have like a 7-course meal. And
did you cook that?
Yeah. How
did you learn to cook?
There was 3 of us.
Is it just trial and error?
Yeah. So one, Google recipes. Thank you, Google.
Another big up. More shout outs.
Yep. Google. You can learn everything online. And then and when I started training with you, obviously I focused on my diet more. Yeah. So a big gap of my life, every night I would come home. Every night I would cook because I enjoyed it. Yeah. So I come home and I cook a healthy meal, and then do that for 2 years. You get better at the basics,
right?
Like grilling, like good clean basics for food, and good nutritious foods without going so crazy. I made very basic things, which is perfect for meal prep. So Kevin, he kind of brought me on board, and then we got talking, and I said I knew somebody at the time that was doing meal prep. Yeah. And I suggested it to him, and I said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a healthy meal prep?"
Oh, that was your idea.
Yeah, it was my idea. And that's how it started. We got a third partner. It didn't turn out. It did well.
It did well.
It just didn't. It wasn't what I wanted.
Right.
And I wasn't scared to leave.
Yeah, which is what you did.
Which is what I did, because I wanted to do meal prep and run a business with the sole purpose of being able to train full time.
Right.
So in the back of my head, that's all I cared about.
Yeah.
And that's still all I really care about.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just wanted to train full time, and then when I realized when it started doing well, and I realized that, oh shit, I'm working more hours than my 9-to-5 job.
Which if you have your own business is going to happen.
Right.
Right?
But it wasn't what I wanted for myself. And that was my first business venture, and you grow with experience.
Totally.
And I realized, like, we butted heads a lot, as people do in business sometimes. If you have the wrong partners.
Yeah.
And so I left, and I literally just started training twice a day and staying in the gym and cleaning the mats, sleeping on the mats.
Yeah, you lived in the gym for a bit.
You
didn't even have to. That's another thing. Like, you didn't even have to. You stayed there, you and Andre?
Yeah, I didn't even have to.
You didn't have to.
Andre had to. I didn't.
Yeah, but I think, Angela and I used to talk about this. Like, why would you go home?
Yeah, I know.
Like, if you don't have to go home,
why would
you know
I?
what I mean? And you love training so much. Mm-hmm. Why would you go home?
Yeah, because I would train in the
Why
morning.
would you just live in the fucking gym?
Yeah.
Like, if you, like I said, if you don't have to do, like, if you have the time and the money or whatever it is,
right.
like, you don't have to.
And yeah, so
like, don't be afraid to live in the gym.
And the reason I was living in the gym was because I was training for my first MMA fight.
Right.
If we backtrack, actually during all that 9 to 5 and the Rexfords and the sealing business on the weekend, and then work and doing your thing,
yeah.
I had 3 Muay Thai fights in that time,
right,
and I won all
right.
3 Muay Thai fights.
That's right.
And I also competed Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, maybe like 20 matches, not a big number of matches, 20 matches at white belt. I was still a white belt at the time,
right?
And that was all with a 9 to 5 job and a job on the weekend and a part-time job with you, and training.
That's right. You just did it,
Yeah,
right? You just did it. It's a grind.
No excuse.
I mean, you're going to hear us talk about the grind a lot. You're going to hear me talk about it all the time, because I think that you got to, in life, you have to stay in the grind isn't necessarily a bad thing. No. Like, I used to think, oh, fuck the grind, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, okay, I'm in the grind, man. So you're just like if you had a to-do list and you're just chopping down the to-do list, it's like, that's the grind. Yeah. If you like, sometimes when I go out and I have to buy, like, I have to go to 5 different places. I got to go get water. I got to go get coffee for my wife. Then I got to go to the bank, and then I got to go here and I got to go there. And it's like at 5 different places. I'm like, okay, time to grind. And that whole drive back and forth, like, even if there's traffic or whatever, I just equate it as the grind. I don't get mad about it. I don't get pissed off. I understand that, okay, I'm grinding, and it's going to take me all over the place, and it's probably going to take 2-3 hours, but this is part of a grind. Or getting up at 4 in and going till 10 at night. It's even later than 10. We're going to probably go till 11 on this podcast, probably.
Yeah.
That's a grind.
Yeah, you know what? When I grind the most or get the most results is when I grind with the purpose. Like,
right.
When I moved out, the only reason I got a job and moved up to management because I had a purpose. Like, okay,
what was the purpose?
This was my chance to turn my life around.
Right.
I didn't graduate high school. I wasn't doing anything. I was just being stupid. And so when I moved out, it was a fresh start. I had a purpose. Like, okay, you can crush this job. You can move up. Just work hard. It'll pay off. And then it did. So then when you see the results, it's like, okay, I can just manifest anything I want.
Right.
And so I try to do that with everything that I pursue.
Yeah, which opens a lot of doors, because you show up.
Yeah.
The part of being in the grind is showing up. Like, that means that you're going to show up, and when you show up, opportunities happen. So then you start working here with me, and we start to grow this business incredibly. Once again, thank you very much, because I would not be where I am today without you. It's been incredible. It's been a grind. You and I have grinded for 2 years, pretty much, right? It's been 2 years, almost 2 years. Well,
really grinding?
November of 2015.
Really grinding? Probably at that time.
Yeah,
maybe
like
a little bit before that.
From Thailand, right?
No, I went
when I got back from Thailand.
Oh, when you got back to Thailand. Yes, that's exactly what.
And then we just had to do the membership site.
Right, I remember that whole, because the 4-core training, and then I remember all that.
So, okay, so now you're training, and you're all these opportunities are starting to come up in regards to, like, you're learning, like, video editing stuff now. Like now your skill sets start to explode, right? Mm-hmm. Like, talk to me about that. Talk to me about what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think...
I don't know what I'm trying to ask.
No, I got you. I think that martial arts kind of taught me that there's always room for improvement. There's always room to grow. And I think that if you want... For me... I didn't have money. Wasn't an asset. My only asset was time. Like, my investment for everything that I've ever done was time and hard work.
Right.
So if I want to be worth anything, I have to have multiple skill sets. Like if I only was able to upload videos, I wouldn't be here.
Right, exactly.
I would still be working wherever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's important that I grow all my skill sets, and the thing with me is like I don't want to grow skill sets that I don't care about.
Right.
It's like I like martial arts. I've always had an interest in video. I like film. I like edit. For me, everything that I like is kind of non-traditional and creative. I like to be creative. I like outlets where I can be creative. So everything that I do from my work, for the most part, and
martial arts,
yep. And my outside life, like things that I do with my spare time, it's all creative outlets, or physical exertion, like getting tired and feeling great about it because I'm addicted to feeling good.
Right.
I'm addicted to eating well, and I'm probably speaking for you as well.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to exercise. I'm addicted to eating well. I'm addicted to growth and fun things. This is all fun for me.
Totally.
And so when it's fun, when it's fun, it's easy.
Yeah.
So my skill set is a lot of things, and it's funny because when I met my girlfriend's parents,
yeah.
So she lives in Singapore, right? And I met my girl. So I went over to Singapore. I met my girlfriend's parents, and they go. It was her dad at the airport. First time I ever met them, right? Traditional Chinese family. So, her dad picks us up from the airport. We're kind of awkwardly walking through the airport. At the time, they didn't really know we were dating. It was just a friend. And he just goes, so are you in school? And I go, no. And then he goes, so what do you do? And at the time, like, it's extremely hard to explain my job.
I can't.
What do you say? Hey, Funk Roberts, what do you do? What do you tell people?
I do online entrepreneur. Yeah. Online fitness. Like it's impossible to tell people because they're like, oh yeah, so you're a personal trainer? No, I don't do any one-on-ones. Oh, so what do you do? You know what? Forget about it. I send out emails.
So
I make money.
At least you had some time to think about it. There was probably multiple people that came up to you and asked you that. This is like one of my first times, like. And so I just kind of go like, online marketing. I do online marketing. And then he goes, did you study for it? And I was like, no. And then, so think about it. Traditional Chinese parents, okay? If anybody knows traditional Chinese parents, they're very like, they're like any kind of traditional parent. They're probably like your parents, get married, get a job, make sure you study, make sure you go to school. And I had none of those things. And I didn't even have a job title. Yeah. I was just doing random shit. Yeah. And so I don't know. That's just trying to explain my skill set and trying to explain my job to people is
hard.
It's hard because honestly, to this day, I don't even really know what I'm doing.
I think 10 years from now, everyone will know it.
Yeah.
But right now, because it's so new, like online stuff is still like like more people are getting into it now. Like more and more people are seeing how much money you can make online and how many people you can reach. And it's more about the reach, right? You can reach the whole world with a passion of yours, and you can do anything. Like now in high school, kids are trying to like do their own thing. It's crazy. Like I went to speak to a grade 7, grade 8. Oh yeah, you were there.
I was there.
That one girl's like, yeah, hit me up on Instagram. I do custom shoes, repair or custom shoes and all this stuff. And she's like 14 years old.
13 years old.
13
probably.
Years old.
Plugging her business
online. This is what I do. And it's like, and my cousin actually told me she's like that all the time. Like she's always plugging. She's always like, that's going to be the norm. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day when you were in high school and you told someone you were like selling T-shirts or whatever, they'd be like, "Are you fucking a loser? Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing? Like, go to school and get a 9 to 5." Now it's like, yeah, I'm selling T-shirts. Oh shit, man, let me get on that business. Let me I want to hustle. Let me get in on that hustle, man. You're making your own money. You're doing this, like, what I mean? It's so weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems that come with that territory as far as like, friends that one thing I kind of like not despise, but like friends. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say you're lucky.
Oh, totally.
And I wish I could do that. It's easy for you to do. or you know,
just do it.
I don't have this, so I can't do it, or you know, just a lot of excuses.
Stop making excuses.
Exactly.
Like fucking shut the fuck up.
Yes.
And buck up and do it. Like stop making excuses. Like, well, I wish I could do it. Yeah, then do it. Go. Just go do it. Here, go. Here's a fucking template. I'm giving you I'm telling you what to do.
Right.
Just do it. You
know? So that, I mean, I run into, I'm not sure if you run into it.
I run into it all the time.
I run into it a lot.
I run into it all the time.
And I'm not even at the top level.
Yeah.
I'm still getting started. I'm 23. I've been doing this for 2-3 years under your tutelage. I'm not shit.
No, you're amazing. What you know, you could completely start your own.
Okay, but
you know,
I like to build. As you can tell, I'm very loyal to things. I'm loyal to the gym. I'm loyal to friends. I'm loyal to family. I'm loyal to people around me, and I like to build a team or be part of a team. This team mentality.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, but it's been a pretty random 3 years because this is all kind of condensed, and obviously a bit more. We haven't really gone through everything, but condensed 3 years of my life, man.
It's been a huge 3 years, because now let's talk about your travel, because I think I think that the fact that you've gone to Thailand 3 times, like it seems like going to Thailand is a theme on this podcast, because I've probably talked about it in every episode so far, and I'm sure I'm going to talk about it in upcoming episodes, because I know that few of the people that I have upcoming have actually also gone to Thailand or worked in Thailand or whatever, or are coaching in Thailand. So that should mean something to any martial artists out there, that I keep talking about that, because you've been there 3 freaking times in the last 9 months?
It might be 4. I honestly don't even remember.
Like you went in the summer last year.
Summer of last year.
And then when was the next time? Summer of last year. Then went.
Summer of last year, winter of last year, and then winter of this year. So like July.
Yeah.
For 3 months or 2 months or something like that. And then we went when?
January. But you were there in December.
I was already there. So then January, and then I came back.
And went again.
And then I went again.
Yeah, that's insane. And that's incredible. Like Thailand's Thailand's not going to Florida.
Yeah.
Or going to freaking New York or whatever. This is the other side of the world.
It was eye-opening, that's for sure. And I was able to hit different spots as well, other than Thailand. But the majority of the time I spent in Thailand, and
so you trained at AKA. Let's talk about some training now. Let's get into the training bit, like where you trained. So you trained at AKA, Thailand. AKA Mike Swick. You guys know UFC. What was that like?
So it's hard to compare training in Thailand to training back home, because training back home, I have my coach, like my head coach, I have my team, I have the group of guys that I came up with, and we train together, and we take the extra. This is the key. This is the main thing about training at a team versus training in Thailand. By the way, training in Thailand is great, but
incredible.
Training with a team is not, people aren't out for themselves. So if you need extra pad work, extra drills, extra whatever, people are there for you. Whereas sometimes training in Thailand can be a little unstructured. Like you can structure it, but it's hard to work on things that you want to work on.
Right.
And so I trained at AKA Thailand. It was great. I trained with I got, as you can see in my videos from the first trip to the last trip, I'm able to emulate that Thai style.
Right.
And I do use a lot of the techniques. I integrated it into my MMA style, but specifically at AKA Thailand.
The first time, what did you do?
The first time.
BJJ. You did a lot of MMA.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every single night.
Yeah.
Muay Thai every single morning.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would do the pro MMA classes. I think they had it twice a week.
Yeah. And who was it? Do you remember some of the fighters that were there that you can?
So the head coach, the Jiu-Jitsu MMA head coach, was Marcio Garcina, who actually came up with Mauricio, my head coach.
Right.
That's why I kind of
gravitated.
AKA I was like, oh, okay, Brazilian guy. He knows Mauricio. Mauricio knows him. I showed up. I was like, hey, do you know Mauricio? Lo and behold, they know each other. So I went there, and Marcio Garcina. They had a Russian girl, Anastasia.
Yes,
in Bellator. Yes. She's coming up. She's gonna be probably a superstar very shortly. Jeff Huang.
Yeah.
A bunch of Russian guys.
A lot of Russian guys. There's a lot of Russians there, right?
A lot of Russian guys.
How's that? How's big
Amir, I can't remember his last name, but he fought Krokop.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
In the Grand Prix, he fought.
Karabulov.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Huge guy.
Yeah.
Tons of fighters.
Yeah.
AKA is
big. It's fighters.
MMA program, a lot of fighters,
Yeah.
and then because they split up the MMA and the Muay Thai. The Muay Thai
Right.
is a traditional Muay Thai program.
Yes.
A lot of Muay Thai fighters as well.
Yes, they do.
They have a lot of Muay Thai fighters as well, and then a lot of people that just train casually.
Yeah.
Just like at any other gym. So
Yeah.
I spent.
I like AK. Like
AK
I
was
like
nice.
the. I mean, my wife went to train with
Lamb.
Thank you, Lamb.
No
Lamb
problem.
Songkram. That's her. That's her. She's followed him from Tiger to that's her trainer, Lamb, and so he went to He went to AKA. So we would ride our bikes from the Tiger Street to see Lamb, but I would see all these Russian guys and all the Thai, the two different classes, and I like the story you just talked about, like you were training some of these guys, or what were you doing with some of these guys?
I would just there was a couple guys because I visited. This was more the second and third trip,
right?
Because I met him on the first trip,
right?
And the second, third trip, it's like, hey, like I came back a short time after, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
But just working on some extra striking things. I think
cool.
Not the problem, but at a lot of gyms, you end up cross training. So you go, you do your Muay Thai, you do your wrestling. You do your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a lot of the times these guys don't have the information that ties it all together. That's why I like to train with Mauricio. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, might as well be a black belt in Muay Thai.
If there was one,
He's been wrestling his whole life.
Yes.
He has all the fighters. He's coached all the fighters to show it. It's not like I'm talking about somebody that nobody knows about and saying he's the greatest. This is like a real solid coach.
Totally.
And his brother as well. So I think, I just started brainstorming with these guys, and they kind of liked. I was just showing a bit of Mauricio stuff, like the very basic stuff. So I scratched the surface because it was like a couple weeks, and obviously, you don't want to show everything,
right?
And especially if there's nothing in return,
right?
I know it sounds kind of selfish, and I always know.
But you showed something though.
I showed something.
Which is good. You gave something.
I gave something, and
you don't have to give everything.
Yeah, they took it in. Yeah. Not saying I'm amazing, just saying that there's an art to tying striking and wrestling and MMA, and they just kind of weren't doing it. And then when you train traditional Muay Thai, it's hard to integrate it into MMA unless you actually do some sparring with the takedowns.
Right.
So
that's what you guys were doing.
Yeah, just showing how when to shoot, good timing on shots, off of punches, just drills. So like I took the best basic drills and kind of passed it off, like, hey, try this out. And I would hold pads and I would drill with these guys. And
that's awesome.
Every single day after my private, they'd be there like, can we drill? Can we work? They'd message me on Facebook, can we work? Can we drill?
That's awesome, man. That's so amazing. I love that. The fact that like that's a great thing about going to places like this, especially you go by yourself, or maybe with another person, whatever. But it's like, that kind of stuff happens where people like from all over the world are coming. Everyone's trying to get better. Everyone's there to pick each other's brains. And then you can come together and like, oh, I like this. Let's do this every day. You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing.
That is amazing if both parties have something to offer.
Right.
Whereas like what I was doing there, those guys might as well have been, it might as well have been a private session.
Right.
Really and truly. And I'm not trying to say that, again, I've only been training for 3 years. I'm really just taking my coach's drills and passing them on.
Yeah.
This is nothing I invented.
Right.
This is a product of nothing I thought about. This is my coach's drills.
Right.
So just to clear the air, I'm not shit. I've been training for 3 years. I'm not saying I'm training pro fighters and all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice when you have a good circle of guys to, like this past week when I trained with Lovato and Justin Rader. Yeah. They showed me more than I could show them.
Totally.
And obviously I'm lucky because the connection is Mauricio, so they're happy to do it. Whereas when I was doing it, I don't know any of these guys.
Right.
They're not really offering me anything.
Yeah.
And what kind of turned me off from continuing it was I wanted to record content. I just wanted, hey, can you do a couple exercises? I have a workout that I want to film.
Right.
Can you help me out? I just held pads for you for an hour. You might as well help me out, right?
Right.
And so, when they're like, oh, next time, this and that, immediately I just cut it off.
Yeah, totally.
That was it. And not to talk bad about them, I'm just saying that.
That's when you know. That's when you know.
Yeah, that's when you know. So then I stopped doing that and then just focused on my own training.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
yeah,
if I can at least get some work out of it, because I when I travel, obviously I work remotely.
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
God bless you. Thank you very much for working remotely.
Yeah. So as soon as I didn't get any return on it,
ROI.
Yeah, ROI, baby, return on investment. Then I just stopped.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
That's
you
okay.
You gave them enough, and they took it, and yeah, I mean, there has to be some give and take and everything.
Oh yeah,
sure. there does. Like, you can't just give, and then not get anything in return. It doesn't have to be monetary. It could just be anything. It could be a little bit of knowledge. It could be appreciation.
Yeah.
It could be something that you get in return that will give you the motivation to continue to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't even get the appreciation. I feel like, like if you want to take an hour of my time and you want me to show you stuff, and I always think, and I think you can agree with this, like establishing a good relationship with people, like starting off on the right foot is always the right formula to continuing a good relationship.
Absolutely. If you're going to be a douche or a dick or a jackass, you're never going to have good relationships. If you're always in it for yourself, you're never going to have good relationships. And I'm not saying you weren't in it for yourself, because you gave first, right? Like, it wasn't even like, okay, I'm going to do this and right away I need to get something back. It was like you gave. You asked for something, they didn't give it to you. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, I'm going to move on somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And that's something, like, if you're listening to this, don't be a douche. Like, don't be a douche. Like, be open to helping people. And if you don't get something that you want back, whether it's appreciation, then you just stop. Like, you don't be a dick about it. You just kind of go, okay, I see where this person is. And you move on. You don't put energy into the negativity that comes out of it, because then you just get caught up in that. And I see that all the time. People get caught up in that. Oh, this person didn't do this back to me, and this person didn't do this, and then they just tell everyone else, and they're just fucking like, they're just deep seated in the fact that this person didn't do something for them. Where they just go, okay, I see what this person's about. Let's move on, because there's other opportunities and people out there.
You can't stop and wait, because you lose out on opportunities as soon as you stop and wait. And that's like, when I realized I wasn't going to get anything out of it, it was just like, hey, can we work today? It's like, hey man, I can't today, I'm busy. At the time I was vacationing with my girlfriend. Right. Like, I was taking time out of my day. Yeah. And yeah, it was all good though.
And so to talk about opportunities, because this is the best story ever, because we talked about like how you decided that you needed to continue to build skill sets, and the skill sets that you're going to build are things that like you like, right? And so, what's that? Okay. So skill sets are things that like that you have passion for, you like, and so you're doing video stuff, and then the second time we went to Thailand, and you come back, and then awesome Sean Fagan, who was on my last podcast, episode number 3, from the Muay Thai guy. First of all, you reached out to him, I think.
Yeah. So I was at the gym. I was on my laptop editing a video. Right. Yeah. And after training, and
so just to premises, right. Andy is self-taught video editor.
Yes.
Right.
Pretty much self-taught everything minus martial arts. Right. I'm pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I have Sean on Facebook, and I was just scrolling down my feed, and I saw him post something about looking for somebody with video writing, or a bunch of different skill sets, and I was like, hey, I got one of those. So on a whim,
the Muay Thai guy, that's Sean Fagan.
The Muay Thai guy. On a whim, I just reached out to him. It said send a cover letter and a resume. So I sent him a cover letter, a resume, and I also sent him previous work that I did. Yeah, it's like, hey, this is the type of shots that I can take. This is my capabilities. And lo and behold, he got back to me. So I actually went out of my way and seeked the opportunity and hunted it. And I didn't actually think anything was going to happen. I didn't even tell you about it. I was
No,
just like,
because this is what happened. So you did whatever you did, and then probably the same night, he sent me a message asking me about you. He's like, "Hey, I see," and I think what happened was, and I know what happened was, he knows that you edit the videos. So you look at our YouTube videos, you look at our Facebook stuff, you look at our Instagram stuff, and it's amazing stuff, like from the evolution of the workouts that I used to shoot from my basement to what I used to shoot with my camera, from when we started shooting
with
to
your camera,
with my camera, to the Osmo stuff, to your editing, and just like the new style. It's more entertaining. People enjoy it, and it's great editing. It's great.
Thank you.
He saw it, and I know that he sees it, and people see it. So this is a testament to you. People are watching, right? And he reached out to me and goes, "Hey, man, Andy, your guy Andy, texted or sent me something about this opportunity about going to Thailand for 2 weeks and shooting stuff for the Muay Thai festival."
It was for the 2017 Worldwide Crew Muay Thai Festival, which is the biggest Muay Thai festival in Thailand.
Yeah. So they were going to send someone there, and he was just like, "Look, man, I see his stuff. His stuff's really good. Your stuff's really good. I just want to make sure that, you don't mind me seeing if he wants to do it." Like, so basically he'd already made his decision. He's like, "Okay, fuck, this guy's got great stuff. I would love to take him. He's already been to Thailand. Like, this is the person I want."
Trains Muay Thai.
He trains Muay Thai. He knows that this is the guy I want. I just need to reach out to Funk and make sure that it's okay. And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." Because what I was kind of taken back at first. I'm like, "What the? I never heard about this before. Like, you never told me." I'm like, "Are you sure that he wasn't just like kind of?" I didn't say that, but in my mind I was. And then I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute. This is like an amazing opportunity for Andy. Like, opportunity of a lifetime." So I was like, "You need to fucking hire this guy. Like, this is the guy you want. Don't worry about anybody else. Take him 2 weeks." We've done it in the past where you've gone away and we've grinded to make sure that everything's covered. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, lots of other people would have been like, "No, don't steal my guy away from me."
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, "No, take him, because this is an opportunity for you." So how was that opportunity?
Firstly, let's back it up. But do you remember that week before I left?
No.
That was a crazy week of like making sure that I had the next 2 weeks covered. Because then we went instantly from, okay, make sure you want to go. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Make sure, can we get everything that we had to do?
Right.
Because we already had a bunch of things lined up. Can we get it all done? It's like, well, we're going to get it all done. So then I did all that. And yeah, it was a weird experience, because it was like 1 week notice.
Yes,
and
it
they're
was 1
like,
week notice, guys.
"Can you shoot a video series?" And I had no idea what I was going to shoot it about. They had an itinerary for me, and I kind of just went and freestyled it.
Yeah.
And dealt with it when I got back. But yeah, they took me everywhere. I got to see places I never would have been able to see.
Like where? Like you went to
Bangkok. I went to
Chiang
Mai, Krabi. I went to Ayutthaya.
Yeah.
I went back to Bangkok.
Yeah.
So I was in Bangkok twice. And
every day you would shoot something, right?
Dude, that camera was glued to my face.
Yeah.
Well, actually my hand. But I probably have like total film time, like
1,000 hours.
No, maybe not 1,000 hours, but something crazy, like 200 hours or something of film.
Yeah, which is a ton of film.
Which is, if you really think about,
and you still have to edit some of that.
Yes,
stuff.
I do still have. It's
a grind.
It's a grind. So I'll go back to the trip after this, but once I got back, the timeline was so short, and they wanted me to. I think they're kind of laying off now, but they wanted that first video out like faster than somebody can humanly possibly edit it.
Right.
So I just went, and on top of everything else, because I came back to my normal life, right?
Right.
So there's going to be 7 episodes, 22 to 30 minutes long.
Right.
So you can imagine the editing. I'm 2 out of 7.
Yeah.
I'm working on the 3rd, but a lot of editing. Anyways, they had an itinerary set up. It was through the tourism of Thailand.
Right.
And I mean, you guys can see it in the video series. So just go to.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna post a link in.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna have a link on the page, and then of a couple of your videos, and then they can see it.
Yeah. So Sean Fagan's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because they'll be dripping the content.
Right.
But I did like crazy stuff. I sparred with Buakaw for 10
so
straight
how
minutes.
was that,
just straight. So I showed up to his gym. Okay, so I didn't know. So like on the itinerary, it said train.
Who's Buakaw? Let's look. So first of all, for anyone who doesn't know, Buakaw is probably the best Muay Thai fighter.
The most
currently, the most iconic currently. Like obviously, there's a million Muay Thai fighters. I'm sure there's some that are better that we don't know about, but he's the most decorated,
famous.
Most
famous. I got out of the airport
insane.
And he was on a billboard.
Yeah, like
first billboard I saw.
So if you don't know, again,
then you've been living under a rock.
Absolutely. So Andy gets to train with this guy. Like you go on a 5K run, you go to his gym.
So they on the itinerary it literally said 6 p.m. train at legendary Buakaw gym or Benchmark gym. So I had no idea what was going to happen. Yeah. So we pulled up. This is all on film, by the way, so you can check this out when it drops. Yeah. But we pull up, and literally we pull up to his gym, and I get out of the van, and he's sitting 10 feet away, and I'm like, dude, what the is this real life? Yeah. And
because you were watching him on when you were in high school, you said.
Oh yeah, I was watching. He was the first Muay Thai guy. It's like playing basketball with Michael Jordan. If you're a basketball fan, that's the equivalent of what it was. So I show up. He was there. He's with his team. They kick a soccer ball around for a bit. I change. We go for like a 7K run through the neighborhood, and 10 of us start running. 2 people fall back.
8 left.
Two people fall back.
6 left.
2 people fall back.
4.
And then it's just me and 3 or 4 other guys running at the top. And I'm not a runner, but I ran the 7K because I'm in good shape.
With a camera.
With a camera, I ran with the camera recording the whole time. But it was incredible, man. I was running, side by side, and you just hear kids saying his name in their school uniforms. You would see the motorbikes and the cars would honk, like amazing. Just a superstar. So I'm running next to this guy, and we get back, and there's a sparring circle, and he's sparring just boxing with a bunch of the Westerners. I think he was doing like a media day, and so he's going 3 rounds with everybody, and then I get the last round, and the clock doesn't stop for 10 minutes. We just go for 10 minutes because I think I brought some, and you can see this in the video. I'm not a traditional boxer, so I gave him a different look, right. And we had fun, and I was respectful.
It was amazing.
And
you were throwing like serious bombs at like great combos. Then he just hunts you down.
Yeah, definitely. He hit me with a couple body shots. That's the problem when he hits you the body shots. Yeah. And we had fun. We're both smiling. It was like super respectful time. Like it was
like 9 minutes.
9 minutes, 10 minutes straight, and then they finally call it off. But like he didn't want to stop. I obviously didn't want to stop.
Right.
But I think I watching the rounds before him, he looked so bored.
Right. Totally.
It's just like people shelling up in front of him, like not relaxed, like fucking like super tense, like trying to hit him hard and stuff. Yeah. And then I go in there super loose, and we're playing around, and like I know that if he lands one bomb, like if you wanted to, it could be over at totally. Any point, right? So I know that, and I'm being respectful, and I'm giving him looks, and we're having fun. So we went for 9 straight minutes, and man, honestly, one of the best experiences of my life. Like
for sure,
I'm able to say that I did that.
Yeah.
And, most people aren't.
99.99999% of the people in the world.
And that's why
fighters in the world.
Yeah. And
have not had that opportunity to spar with Buakaw and live to tell it. And I love how you commentated over it.
Right.
Like in the video, you commentate and kind of tell people what you felt like, what was going on. Like that is so incredible. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, actually, that was your idea. So I
just took
jacked
that
it.
From
Yeah,
Sean Fagan was doing it.
Right. So thank you, Sean. Yeah. Well, it was for him anyways. Yeah. So I hope I know he doesn't mind.
No, that's. I mean, see there it is. There's the opportunities that happen. Like you took that opportunity in a week. You kind of like, okay. That's why at the beginning I talked about how you take things and you calculate it. Like you will jump at stuff, but you calculate it first. Like I'm that way too. Like, oh, okay, I want to do a podcast. All right, let me just can I learn how to use this software? Can I buy the equipment? Can I start doing this? And do I want to do this? Like commit all the time and do it? Yep, I do. Okay, so let's just now learn it. It sucked learning it. It took us some time to get this thing up and running. Like, and this is my fourth, podcast, and I'm sure it's going to be, obviously there's more, but there's, it's just, you just keep doing it. But that's what you did. Like in a week's notice, you're like, yeah, I've already been to Thailand twice in the last 8 months.
Might as well go again.
Might as well go again.
It's funny that you say that you started the podcast so I took last week off because I was at the gym training with Rafael Lovato Jr. and Justin Rader for the last week. So I took some time off. And before I took the time off, like the last time I saw you before that time, you're like, I think we should start a podcast. And then I took a week off and I come back and you're already 4 episodes deep. You bought the mics, you have this mixer, you have the software, and now we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Literally 7 days later after I talked to you.
That's how I roll, buddy. That's how I roll, and that's how you roll. That's the way to roll in life, man. You got to take all these opportunities and just like, oh, you look at it, I want to do that. Like that, I want to do that, so I'm gonna do it. Not like, should I do it? Like, no, I want to do it. I'm gonna do it.
You know what? I think that should be reworded. Like you say it well, but I think that you don't take opportunities. You've always created the opportunities.
Right.
Like it's not like somebody came up to you and was like, "Hey, Funk, do you want to do a podcast?"
Right.
It was like, you know what, I'm going to do a podcast. You created the opportunity, and I think that's something important for people to hear as well. Is that you can't wait around for shit to happen. Like even if it's the smallest thing, it'll always. If your heart's in the right place, it'll always be
the right time.
The right time and the right thing. So creating opportunities versus waiting for opportunities. I mean, it sounds so fucking cliche, but it's a real
thing. It works. And the other thing that we talked about that kind of like gave me like I don't know, it just gave me a nice feeling, a good spark was the fact that this past week you trained with Lovato Jr. and Rader, and you just like you learned the championship mindset, like the championship grind. What is that all about?
Yeah, so
like what these guys are fucking like, they're next level.
Oh, I'll tell you a bit about them right now. But, so it's weird in life. Like I'm still young and I haven't really done much. That's where I like to keep my head at. But like, I haven't really done much. So it's always refreshing when somebody comes into your life and it's like a whole different mindset and your mind actually changes from people coming in to your life and so I trained with them before, but I had the opportunity to actually train with them
Lovato
more, more, not so like with both the guys and with my coach, and just seeing how these guys, well, number one, hearing their stories.
Right.
Both of them incredible stories. Couldn't be nicer guys, by the way.
Justin Rader and
Rafael Lovato Jr. Justin Rader's fighting on June 30th for Legacy, and Rafael Lovato Jr. is fighting on July 6th.
In 6 weeks from June 5th. Is he have the belt?
He has it for Legacy, but he's fighting for Bellator.
Oh, the Bellator. But is he fighting for the belt, or is just another fight?
He's just fighting, and also don't say the guy's name because they haven't announced it yet.
Okay.
So yeah, he's fighting for. Anyways, I'm in these guys' first bits of training camp.
Yeah.
And the way these guys, they're so professional about it. They're just and they enjoy it. Just the way they diet.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole time I'm there trying not to be annoying and just trying to pick the shit out of their brains. Hey, what do you do when you first wake up?
Right.
So they tell me, well, your body's probably a little bit dehydrated because you slept, so I do 16 ounces of water, and I squeeze lemon juice into it because lemons help keep your body alkaline. Boom. Next day, guess what I do? 16 ounces of water, lemon juice.
Absolutely.
Just picking these guys' brain and seeing how they take care of themselves and seeing how they carry themselves out, and then seeing how hard they work.
Yeah.
And like how committed they are. We're talking about two world champions in grappling, multiple time world champions, both of them, and then both MMA fighters, and then Lovato being a legacy middleweight champion.
Right.
it was a good reminder and refresher that
what you're doing is
yeah
on the right path. Like
right.
you talked about they train, and then 30 minutes before they warm up, 30 minutes after they're stretching, they go to they float. Like talk about all that stuff.
Right. Okay. So
like, what are these guys like? These what is all that shit?
Like, okay. Well, number one, they just take super care. Like they just don't step. They know what they. Okay. So everybody knows what they have to do, but it's a matter of if you're gonna fucking do it or if you're not gonna do it. Right. Every fighter knows that they should be dieting. Which one of the fighters from day one of camp to the end of camp, how many times did they cheat?
Right.
These guys are cheating 0.
Right.
And that's obviously why the results show. So it was a good reminder to know that this is possible. And then, they do everything, and they talk about it openly a lot, like, flotation tanks,
right.
Massage therapy, acupuncture, organic food, all
daily.
Organic daily.
Every day.
Organic meats, organic proteins, proper hydration, proper nutrition, keep managing their weight.
Right.
Rehab, really. Training protocols, listening to their body. I mean, that's another big thing I picked up was like, if you're super sore, like you'll get less out of grinding through a session than you will just recovering. And it's a hard pill to swallow because you think that you're missing out, but really your body needs rest.
Right.
And, it was just like, I could tell, like, I'm not going to go through the whole routine of what they do because,
it's their routine.
It's their routine.
Right, I was going to say, please go. You know what? We're going to have them on.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to have Rafael on, and he's going to go through his whole routine. We're going to have Justin on in the future. He's going to go through his routine. But keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so, I don't want to say anything that they might not want out there.
Right.
So, just seeing world champions train at a world championship level and treating their diet on a world championship level and their recovery like world champions, there's only one result.
Champion.
Like, you get a champion. So if you're, and that applies across the board. It's weird because we had a lot of conversations and they talked about, I said, like, I remember one instance with Lovato, I said, I'll meet you guys at the gym. And he's like, don't call it a gym. It's an academy. Like a gym's a place where you just work out. An academy is somewhere where you learn. You learn discipline, you learn skills, you learn martial arts, you learn. It's more than a gym. Absolutely. Is what he said to me. And now that sticks in my head. I'm never saying gym again unless it's a Good Life
Street.
Or 4th Street Fitness over there, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's incredible. I mean, and the other thing is they're doing this while traveling.
Yeah.
They're not even at home. Like it's comfortable going to all these places at home, your float place, your massage therapy, getting your organic stuff. But when you're traveling to somewhere you've that you're not used to going or you don't go often, and making that a priority. I need this. I need this. I need this. I need this. You know how people say, "Well, I'm traveling here and I can't get my workout in, or I can't do this." That's bullshit, man. You can fucking get everything in. You can work out at the hotel. You can sort. You've got phones now where you can source out clean foods. You can go buy stuff. Like there's no excuse. This traveling shit, or I'm going to other gyms. There's no excuse. You gotta plan, source stuff out. You gotta that's your number one priority is your body, yourself, your mind, and how you're gonna perform, and whether you're a fighter or not. Like that's gotta be your number one. So when you travel, like when Angela and I travel, we're always looking. First of all, when we travel, okay, what Muay Thai gyms or MMA gyms are around, or gyms are around. We got to get our workouts, and that's number one. Like no matter what, we got to get our workouts in. Where are we going to eat? What are like the clean places to eat? Like that's always a part on our mind. Like it's never not on our mind. It's part of who we are. We cannot go away and not train. We cannot go away and not eat clean and eat healthy. And on our long drives, make sure that we have clean snacks in the car, so we're not like eating chips and shit. And you're going on a fucking 10-hour drive. How are you gonna eat chips going on a 10-hour drive? You're not gonna make it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you said that because it kind of sparked something in my head. It was something that we talked a lot about in this past week when I was just training, was the samurai life. And that kind of applies to everything. It's like they're so committed to, like, number one, their day-to-day life, they're just operating at such a higher frequency than most people. Their diet is on point. They're hydrated. They're healthy because they exercise. They're healthy because they take care of their body. It's one big, like, it just rounds itself out, and then you get like this incredible person at the end of it, right? And just like you said, there's no excuse. And when you go traveling, you put it all together because you need to maintain that.
Absolutely.
You cannot fall off.
No.
Do not fall off. I know a lot of people that have done it. It's hard to get back on.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is tough. And we've been there. I've been there where you fall off. And I know that I never want to be back. Right. I never want to fall off again. And I never will. Like, it'll always be in there.
Have you ever felt that you've gone backwards?
Oh, 100%.
Like recently or no?
Yeah, when I got back from before we went to Thailand. So last like December, November. So I had a run where we went. I can't remember where we went to California. Then I went to Australia. Then I had the Toronto UFC. I had to do the week long, and then I had like the Christmas time. So at that time, I was like totally burnt out, not from working out because I hadn't worked out, I hadn't trained. And I was just like going from one place to another and not taking care of my body. Like I was not taking care of my body or my mind, and I was burnt out and I was out of shape. I was overweight, and I was just like this. It was the worst feeling. Like I was just like, I look like shit. I felt like shit. Like, you know, I'm taking a piss and I can see I'm sitting taking a shit and I can see like my belly. And I know that when I take a shit and I can see my belly, I'm like, this is disgusting. Like it's disgusting. Like that's got to go. Right. So, I just so in January, Angela and I just said, you know, we're going to not eat any sugar, no more like, because I would eat M&Ms and fucking chips every week. You remember I'd have M&Ms, chips, and
only on the weekends though.
Only on the weekends, but it was just brutal. It was brutal. It was just like, and I felt like shit, and I was like, and it was hard in December, like to go to the gym because I was out of the gym for so long. It's like, you know, I'll stay home and do more of my work. And kind of like I would use my business as my excuse for not going fucking 5 minutes away and walking to the gym or being at home and doing a bodyweight thing. And then in January, I just decided, fuck this, man. This is it. Like we can't do this anymore. Like we cannot, like I've got to get back to where I was, and I'm staying there.
Right. I feel like exercise is the best, especially your style of workouts is like, it's always been my measuring stick in life, as well as martial arts. But like, if I'm not exercising, I just don't feel right, and totally. I'm shitty to people, and people are shitty to me, and I look like shit, and yeah, it's just like not a good time.
It's not a good time. And eating too, you just feel like shit. You're always inflamed. Like as an athlete, like I can't even fathom, and I used to do it, so I'm saying it right now, but I was younger then. I can't fathom not eating clean and fueling your body so that you recover, so you have energy, so you can train hard, so you don't get injured. Like even if you're never gonna fight, if you're just training because you love the sport, I can't. Now that I'm my age, I used to be, you know, go out drinking before a tournament, drinking the night of. I used to play beach volleyball. There'd be two days. You'd play 2-day tournament. You play Saturday. We would do well Saturday and be playing like semifinals and finals on Sunday. But I would still go out on Saturday night and drink, and then wonder why I got fucking destroyed Sunday morning, early morning against a team that I should beat. You know what I mean? Like it's just like we're at the stage of time now where there's so much information about how to stay healthy, and there's so many ways to stay healthy, and that there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Like back then there was no internet when I played fucking volleyball. There's no internet. It was like, so there's no excuse.
Right. So if you were to give somebody some tangible advice, like real direction. So let's say somebody was overweight and they're obviously unhappy.
Yeah. And
they're like, where do I start? Because the start's always the hardest part.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you tell somebody? Where do you start?
Start going for a walk. I used to say this, go for a walk every day, man. Go for a walk every day. Make that walk faster. then from the walk, go for a slight jog. Like, 2 weeks later, just go for a slight jog. Doesn't have to be long. Walk, jog, walk, jog, walk, jog. Just start getting, and just be consistent. It could only be 15 minutes or 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's about the consistency. Because once you start doing it and you start being consistent, it starts to become a habit. And then that habit, you're like, oh, okay. Oh, I can do more than 15. Today I'm going to go 20 minutes. And then you're going to start to see a difference. Then, on top of that, now it's hard to like pile. Sometimes what happens is everyone's like, okay, I gotta change my nutrition. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to go to the gym. And they put like 30 things on at once. And it becomes so overwhelming, like, fuck this. Mm-hmm. If you just go, okay, I'm just going to start with the walking. Because the walking makes you feel good. And then I'm going to go with the walk-run. Walk for 2 minutes, run for 30 seconds. Or jog, like just a slight jog. And then, so you get that part of it. And then you start changing up your diet. Oh, I'm drinking pop. Okay, let's just omit pop this week. Mm-hmm. And then no more pop. And then no more junk. Or no, you know what I mean? Like, you slowly get rid of stuff. But I think the exercise part would be the first part, because once you start feeling better and looking better because of what's going to happen to your body, you're going to want to start to eat better.
Right.
Because you're going to say, every time I eat this, I feel like shit. But every time I do this and go for a walk, I feel great. Why do I want to sabotage that by going back to this? So now let's start, learning how to eat, because I'm starting to see results, So that's what I would do. I would, or if you, like, I hear a lot of times people are like, oh, I want to do some martial arts, but I want to get into shape first.
Right. Oh,
no, you'll get into shape when you do the martial art. There's conditioning involved. Just go, oh, I don't want to go hardcore. It's okay. There's beginners classes everywhere. You just work your way in. It's going to be hard, but you just work your way through.
I think that this is something that we always talk about off air, but accountability. Like, now I'm at a point in my life where I have so much people holding me accountable around me that I can't stop.
Right.
I can't stop training because I have to teach the kids class, I'm looked up to at the gym a little bit, and like there's just too many people around for me to stop.
Totally.
And then, at work, I can't stop. I just can't stop.
Yeah.
Accountability
is huge. You're right. Like, you got to say, there's Facebook, there's all these places where you can say, hey, I'm going to lose weight or something, something that you put it out there, let people know. Now, you understand that what's going to happen when you put things out is all of your family and friends are probably going to be the people who are going to sabotage you the most, because they don't want to see you succeed. As bad as it seems, they probably don't want to see you succeed because they are in a bad place themselves. Unless they come up and go, yes, I will do this with you. Let's do it together. If you have a wife or a husband or someone who you can say, let's do this together, and their first thing is, I'm not really into it, then they're not going to want you to succeed. So you got to actually do it yourself. You can't rely on anybody else. But I think posting it somewhere and saying, okay, I'm doing my 28-day ab shredder challenge. Here it is, guys. Now the world knows.
That's actually incredible that you said that, because I think that all of this sounds like really stupid, but I think everything that I've done up to now, I held myself accountable on Instagram. It sounds really, really stupid, but okay. So I have 869 followers on Instagram, but I have 2,200 posts. And if you go all the way back to the first post, that was before. Okay, so anybody that wants to really see social proof of my life, go to What's with Andy 1 on Instagram. Scroll all the way back to the first post. I didn't even start training martial arts yet. You will see from the first post up until now how my life has changed. And it's really weird that we're in an age where we're able to put everything out there.
Totally.
And so I kind of took advantage of that, and I don't think enough people are doing it because it's uncomfortable to do.
Yes.
But once you start doing it, once you put everything out there, it's so hard to turn back because you don't want to be wrong. It's already out there.
Yeah. You don't want people to see, I didn't knew you wouldn't do it. I knew you couldn't do it. Or, you don't want to be criticized or,
right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, man. Put it out there. Put it out there. If you're serious or you want accountability, you need motivation. If you need motivation, put it out there. That'll motivate you every day to be like, fuck, man, I got to keep going.
It motivated me. So I think that's actually one great piece of advice that I didn't even think we would ever say is make an Instagram account, right? And
make it public.
If you want to improve your diet, you know what you do? You put every single meal that you eat on Instagram.
Totally.
And I did that. And I did that for probably 6 months. Okay, so when I first started learning how to cook, I put out every single meal that I cooked.
Yeah.
Scroll back. I'm not lying. Go to What's with Andy 1. Scroll all the way back. You will see in day postings, like, 1 day apart, 2 day apart, 3 day apart, all the meals that I was eating at the time. You'll see my entire progression. So I think that if you want accountability plan, it's called Instagram or Facebook. But you have to be consistent again and put it out there. And it's so accountable because if you stop, everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, what happened to you? Hey, man, this has been awesome. We're at about an hour and 25 minutes. Listen, you're going to be co-hosting anyway, so
right, we got a lot of time.
We got a lot of time to talk and people to talk to, and we've got a lot of things to talk about and topics. But this has been amazing, man. I like I said, your growth has been incredible. Your fighting career has been incredible so far. Your business and online career, your travel. We're going back to Thailand in October and November.
Funk Roberts Fitness Retreat. We have one space.
One space left.
One space left. So
FunkMMA seminars. But no, this is about you, buddy. This is about you. It's not about my seminar. No, it's been like you motivate and inspire me every day. Like every day, we talk. Every day you're here. It's just like, man, this guy continues to grind and do incredible stuff. Like you honestly have done unbelievably incredible things.
Thank you.
Like your skill set right now is unbelievable. Like you can do so much in life if you decided to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere. You could do so much. You have so much knowledge. You learn fast. You're not afraid of taking on challenges. You're not afraid of failing. Oh fuck, this didn't work. All right, let's try
Failed
this.
So many times.
Right. You gotta keep getting back up, and you are not lucky. You create your opportunities. You create what happens to you, and when you show up, opportunities happen. Like if you show up every day to whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's your job, if it's to work, if it's to pick up your kids, if it's to whatever, to train, to the gym. If you show up, that's half the battle. I know it's cliche, people say all the time, but when you show up, opportunities, you can't miss up. You can't fail when you show up because you won't miss opportunities. If that makes sense. Not saying you may fail with what you're doing, but you will fail 100% when you don't show up.
Yeah.
Period.
It's that cliche. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take type of thing.
So just that's what you're doing, man. I'm so happy that you're part of this. I'm so happy that you've been working with me. Great things are going to happen. We got great things going on coming up in the next year. We just started, buddy.
Okay. So
any last words? How can people find you, Andy?
You
Facebook?
can find me on Instagram, What's with Andy 1, and
what about Facebook?
Facebook, Andy Tiet, Tiet, last name. But any last words? I mean, you summed it up pretty well. My assignment this week to anybody listening out there is create one opportunity for yourself. Go somewhere and do something that you want to do but never had the balls to do, or go somewhere and just talk to somebody for a little bit. Either create a relationship or create an opportunity, or step out of the box and do something that you haven't done before, because you know what? You're probably going to enjoy it.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. That's it, guys. We'll be back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining us. You know what? I love you guys. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm so happy that you joined me. I can't thank you enough for your support, your love. Guys, make sure that you do us a favor and rate this a 5, because I want to start to bring on more guests, great guests, UFC fighters, UFC trainers, and the best way for them to come on is they want to see that this gets a good rating, this gets good comments. So please leave positive comments, leave 5 ratings, and just help support this. Download it, share it with your friends, tell people about it. You can go to funkmma.com to download my 6 free strength and conditioning programs. You can follow me, FunkMMA, on Facebook, FunkMMA on Instagram, and Funk Roberts on YouTube.
Boom.
There it is, guys. All right. We'll see you again. Guys, like I always say, be good, be positive, stay outside of your comfort zone, and get it done. We're out.
That was fun.